Shalom. This is a new Yeshurun Israel at Hebrew on the Island 2. Today's video is going to be Genesis 8 highlights and Torah reading. Listen, I just want you to know, in the prophets and in the Nevi'im, they say there's going to be a famine of the word coming soon. You see all this crazy, what, going on in the world. Everything's winding down. Their rulership is coming to an end. Their world system is coming to an end. And guess what? They have to fail. That's the only way we're going to rise, Hebrew Israelite, which are only the Negroes that have been scattered to the four corners of this flat earth, who are the true aboriginals. They got the maps all turned upside down. The landmass is wrong. The Western Hemisphere is the old world. Okay, but you know what? I always say that because I have heathens watching my videos. I want them to fully understand who we are. We're not black, which is crayons in the crayon box. We're not Negro or anything. We're the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, who suffer the curse of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 6:26. Okay, listen. What I want to tell you, I tell you about the famine and the word. Some of my subscribers, I tell them to look for a specific video. They say, they can't find it. You know why? Because they're banning. And this is my second YouTube channel. My first one I had when I was a Messianic Hebrew was very large. It wasn't super big, but I had thousands of subscribers, right? And they wasn't having that either, because some truth was coming out in that. They terminated me quick, fast, and in a hurry. This is a smaller channel, and they're still on to me, YouTube and stuff like that. They're erasing and banning videos of mine. I make them, and then some people they can't find them. And it's so crazy. Genesis 7 video, I made it, put it up, and they banned it worldwide. Why? I'm not making it again. Because I have it in my notes. I made it. This is why I'm telling you, when you see my videos, watch them. Don't delay, because you never know which one they're going to ban and which one the Most High is setting for you to use in your life, so you can walk in righteousness. So, they're banning my Genesis 7. That's not talking about them, really. So, and listen, you see a lot of YouTubers, Hebrew Israelite YouTubers. They do, and I do, we do videos on all the various different topics and stuff like that. But you know what? We need to know our law. So here at Hebrew on the Island 2, I'm doing Torah highlights and readings. It's taking me some time, but I'm going to get through them. I'm on only 8, but I'm going through the whole Torah, which is the first 5 books. And I'm going to try to improve better. I'm going to try to do not just one every 2 weeks or something. I'm going to try to do 1, 2, or 3 every week, because you need to listen. It says in Isaiah 34, the major prophet in the Nevi'im, he says, seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read, and none of these things shall fail. It says some more things to it. You look it up, Isaiah 34. See, if we're reading his law, applying it to our life, we're going to walk in righteousness. In Deuteronomy 4, it says it's going to, in Deuteronomy 4, Moses says to the Israelites, I gave you these illustrious, I'm paraphrasing, these illustrious commandments. Do them, because it's going to be your wisdom in front of the nations. And guess what? If it's going to be your wisdom in front of the nations to keep the commandments, statutes, and know his judgments, what do you think it's going to do for you too? It's going to be your wisdom in front of the judgment. They're going to look at you as very wise people. And then you're going to have wisdom to live a life with breakthroughs amongst the curses, because you have the wisdom of the Most High. It's all connected. All right, let me go to the highlights of Genesis 8, tell you real quick, and then we're going to do the actual reading. And it's not long. And even if it was long, you should enjoy it, because the law, the scriptures, is your life. And if it's not your life, if you're too bored and antsy, got that attention deficit syndrome, like I hope he hurries and finish, and I don't even make my videos long, and you want to watch television or play your Xbox or PlayStation games, or I don't know, do what you do. you better re-examine yourself, because your love is not truly with the Most High. And at the end, it's all going to be revealed. Everything's going to be uncovered. Do you really love the Most High? If you love the Most High, how do you get to know the Most High? The only way you can get to know the Most High and have a better relationship with the Most High, your Father, is if you're in His Word. So this is a way that you can get in your Word if you're a little busy. I'm actually going to read the whole thing for you. Okay. Highlights of Genesis chapter 8. Highlights of Genesis chapter 8. See, when you're around, like, and I love this place. This was a dream, and the Most High has allowed me to realize this dream, breakthrough. When I finished my job, my kids got married and went off on their own. I was able to do a childhood dream that I saw. I said, my aunt took me to Jamaica when I was very young, like, I don't know, 11 years old or something like that, 10, I don't know, 12. And when she took me there, I was surprised, because, you know, I grew up in extreme poverty and didn't see anything else except that city that I lived in. Apartment buildings and all that stuff like that. And when I went to Jamaica, I saw the beautiful trees and flowers. I saw the beautiful trees and flowers and water and stuff like that. And I said to myself back then, I said, you know, if I ever can get to a point, I want to move to an island. And guess what? It's none of me. The Most High fulfilled my dream. I looked to Him as my Father. He gave me something that I was looking for, that really wouldn't hurt me, like, scripturally or anything like that. And I appreciate it. So, if spending a lot of time in the Most High's laws and studying and watching Hebrew videos and all that stuff is, you just don't, it gives you the itches, like you're allergic to it, reevaluate yourself. I love this stuff. I live it. I drink it. I breathe it. I dream it. Hopefully you're doing it as well. Genesis 8 highlights. These are just some key points that I picked out. That's what I like to do. I read it first, take out little key points, and then I actually read it. So what you find in Genesis 8, the reign of the heavens during Noah, they stopped. The waters abated after 150 days. The ark rested on top of Mount Ararat. After the 10th month, you could see the actual tops of the mountains. No, and you know what? This was an interesting part in Genesis 8, because, you know, when you read and gloss over the scriptures fast, sometimes you miss some intriguing and cool things. You know, people think He just sent out the dove, but when you read, we're going to see it in Genesis 8, He also sent out ravens. So Noah sent out a raven and a dove to check for dry land. The dove only came back. When they left the ark, Noah built an altar unto Hawa, which is the Creator. And Hawa is the oldest form of the word. And I'm gonna do a short little video on Eve. I'm going to tell you where her name comes from. It's pretty cool. It's going to be short. When they left the ark, Noah built an altar unto Hawa and offered up clean beast and clean fowl, thanking Him for having him safe, him and his families, and the animals, to start all over. And then the last key highlight of Genesis 8 is, this is what it was a promise given. It was, the Most High said, I will not again curse the ground anymore, neither will I smite any more everything living as I have done now. So it's a promise. So He's not going to smite everything. So that's why this earth is going to think everything is not going to be killed. We need slaves. I want my slaves. So He's not going to kill all of them. I'm glad He's going to kill a lot of them, because they're demons. Just look what they did to the earth. Actions tell it. Destroyed almost everything. Water, air, food, everything. Mice, everything. The ground, everything. I can't even name it all. It's too much to name. So He's not going to, like He said, the promise in Genesis 8, He's not going to destroy every living thing like He did before. So we're coming to the end, and He's not going to destroy the Israelite who's childlike, who is striving for righteousness every day, who is seeking after the Most High, who is crying and sighing about the abomination in the midst of Israel, and who doesn't have a deceitful heart and a lying tongue. Let's get into it. Let's get into the reading now. I'm going to call it quits. It's not going to be a long reading. Okay. Genesis chapter 8. Okay. There's the Apocrypha and stuff like that, but I don't read none of that anymore. New Testament. Sometimes if I make a video and I want to bring a point out, I use it, but Torah, you have to prove everything in the Torah. And remember, Caleb and Joshua, they didn't have, and Moses, they didn't have the Naveen or the Ketuvim. That's the prophets and the writings. They just had the law. And Caleb, he said, Caleb was my servant. He followed me fully. You know, he had a different spirit. He didn't have any writings from prophets or anything. He just kept the law. Israelites must just keep the law of the Most High. That's what appeases him. Okay, Genesis chapter 8. And remember, watch this as soon as possible. And write notes down or whatever, because I tell you, the famine of the word is in process. And one day when you click that YouTube, I'm not going to be there, and a lot of the other guys are not going to be there. You're not used to reading and praying and stuff like that much, and it's not going to be there. The famine's coming. Genesis chapter 8. And the Most High remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters a surge. The mountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the windows of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven. See, I told you, he didn't just send a dove. Like me all these years, I'm just thinking he just sent a dove out. Because when you read very fast, you're reading just to get through it, you're missing gems. And even though you say, well, what's the importance of that? Well, it's a cool factoid, biblical factoid. And if you're really interested in the Most High's words, you'd be like, oh, John, something new I learned. Okay? And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for his sole of her feet, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and set forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 605th year, in the 5th month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry. And Elohim, Howard, spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kind went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto the Most High, and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Most High Yahweh smelled a sweet savor. And the Most High said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. That was the reading of Genesis chapter 8 in Genesis and Bereshith. Hopefully this was edifying. Remember, they banned my Genesis 7 worldwide. It's crazy. I'm telling you, the famine of the word is coming. This is a new I.S.U.P.K Israel at Hebron Island 2. Until next time, shalom.